Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gamescom Plantronic Tournament. This is Game 2 between Team Dignitas and Statsme. Thanks for joining us. I am Maut. With me tonight is Anacletus. How are you, sir?
Great after that game. Hopefully it goes a bit differently, but we'll see.
I mean, I certainly hope so. Statsme, I think, had a really good strategy. They just didn't quite implement it, I think, the way they wanted to. Usually when you get about 50 kills or so before, well, I'll just leave
10
it at
minutes.
that. Um, to be fair, they did some good stuff, I think, early on in the game. And we were talking about it too, how Bounty Hunter was roaming around getting a few kills. But you mentioned how the Bounty Hunter should have stayed in the lane longer and got some experience, and I think that was a big deal. I think that Team Dignitas was at their sort of they peaked a little earlier, obviously, and Bounty Hunter, of course, didn't have track for the longest time. I'm not even sure he hit level 6 or not, but you get that
He did.
track up early, and man, it could be a lot better for them.
He started ganking around 3 because he got 1 in Windwalk and 2 in Shuriken, which does about 200 damage just on Shuriken alone. So it's some great burst DPS. But they kept dual laning mid, and they may have gotten a few kills, but in the end, having QoP free farm and free XP, and then their Bounty Hunter really just didn't get anything off that. They tried to do too much too early and didn't get enough lane XP and farm. So
Absolutely, I definitely agree with you. And they're going to pick up the Bounty Hunter once again. And actually, looking at the bans here real quick, we see, of course, the Bat Rider as well as the Darkseer banned out from Dignitas, Nyx and Magnus on the side of Statsme. But Night Stalker will be picked up once again for Dignitas, as well as Leshrac. I imagine Leshrac will be played up by Universe and Night Stalker probably by IW 2000. These things can change, but Statsme going to go for Juggernaut, a hero that was picked up last time, and actually in a support capacity and played by Tides of Time. It was sort of a support ganker. And we were talking about how it would work out, and I was very surprised that it worked so well. And what did you think of that play coming out from the sides of Tides of Time?
it was really awesome. They had a Lina and a Night Stalker, so they were able to keep people within Juggernaut's spin, which I think is the real important part there. But the fact that they had Night Stalker getting most of the XP and stuff made it so like he was really incredibly useful in the mid game. Because normally you only see Night Stalker in a solo because he needs the solo XP and farm
Mm-hmm.
to get his nukes up. But they played that really well and landed a lot of double stuns. Monolith played awesome on Lina.
I was very surprised because Monolith, I believe, is the manager for Dignitas. Usually they would have way too sexy there playing for Dignitas, but man, Monolith hit so many stuns. I got to give props to him. He played absolutely outstanding on that Lina, and I think that was a lot of the early game aggression. A lot of the success came from Monolith on that Lina in that lane at least.
Yeah. You even have Lina getting respect banned from Statsme. So
Man, that just shows you. That goes to show, like if you're a manager for a team and you get respect ban, you're doing all right. I got to say, props to Monolith. Very good stuff there. We will get into some more ban phase here, talking about the picks as well. Nature's Prophet and the Tidehunter picked up once again for Statsme, but a Furion this time around for Dignitas. Where do you think they're going to send him?
I think that he might end up being their solo safe lane. They could put Night Stalker mid and set up an aggressive Trillium with a Leshrac and another setup stun, but that's just they could do a lot of things right now with their
Yeah.
picks. But I think that that's what they might run because Statsme has one good laner, but they have 2 sort of weak lane Tidehunter and Bounty Hunters. So I think that their optimal setup here would picking something that can solo against the Bounty Hunter, and the Tidehunter won't be that useful in laning phase again. Um, it's a big portion of Dota is keeping a good balance between being able to lane properly and having a good team that can do things late game. Like Venommancer is awesome in the early phase laning because Gale is incredibly strong and does a lot of damage, and it lasts a long time. But in the late game, he sort of fizzles out until he gets his ultimate, and even then, he's just a 2 spell hero. So
It's sort of like you send that Venomancer and he ults and then he dies and then that's like the story of his life. It's just like, ah, I died for my team, well warded
yeah,
or whatever. And just like, um,
exactly.
I think that the Venomancer pickup is okay. I mean, And what surprised me actually, and you were talking about how Tidehunter is sort of not the best in laning phase, and I completely agree with you. It's weird that they sent a dual lane mid. Obviously, I think it was just because Universe was there and on that bat ride that would have been difficult for Tidehunter to really even step out of that lane, but he still could have gotten experience without getting last hits, and just getting level 6 really quickly is enough, I think, for a Tidehunter. Do you think if they sent perhaps that Vengeful Spirit elsewhere, it might have been a little bit better, assuming the Tidehunter had not died that much?
I think that they should have kept the VS top when they should have let the Tidehunter get solo XP. Getting 6 early is huge, and also he didn't get any points in Kraken Shell. I don't remember if he had a stout shield or not, but Tidehunter can definitely stand in lane against Bat for a fair amount of time and just last hit with Anchor Smash. He's one of the heroes that can actually do decently against Bat mid. Like he can't necessarily win the lane uh for anything worthwhile, but he can definitely CS decently and get a lot of XP. So I just thought it was a really interesting choice. But they did get kills, but I guess they could have just played it better from the bounty hunter's sake. I think him not getting a lot of XP bottom was a root a lot of that problem.
Absolutely, I think so as well, and I think that getting that track up early on is really necessary. I mean, those were the two ultimates I think they needed the quickest. I think the track and the Ravage, and it didn't happen. I mean, CK, he's very good in terms of ganking once he can get a little bit more damage on his. I mean, like, just Chaos Bolt just does so much damage in conjunction with like another hero like the Keeper of the Light. I think if they added that Vengeful Spirit up in the top lane, it would have just been so much better. And then, of course, the Tidehunter using that Ravage, getting that Ravage, excuse me, at level 6 very quickly without that Vengeful Spirit in lane could have really helped. But they do have another game here, of course. If Statsme can pull off this victory, they'll be heading to Game 3, which would be really interesting to see. I mean, Dignitas has a pretty nice lineup here. You look at Night Stalker, Luna, Enigma, Furion, as well as the Leshrac for the side of Dignitas. I realized I didn't really go over the bans that much, but regardless, it looks like Aui's going to be on that Luna. So it looks like I think Night Stalker will be mid, I'd imagine.
I'm not sure yet. I think that they might actually run a Furion mid and put the Enigma in the jungle, but I'm not sure. They're smoking.
Oh yeah,
they're going to go battle.
They want to fight. They want to fight right now, and I don't blame them. I mean, their team is very strong with that Lunar Blessing. That an extra bonus damage early on in the game could be pretty important, and this Bounty Hunter needs to be careful. I hope they have some sort of dust on the side of Dignitas, otherwise this could be just a waste of time. Do they? Absolutely, Monolith does have that.
They're roshing.
Oh, they're roshing. Oh, level 1 rosh coming out from the side of Dignitas. I was not expecting this.
Nope.
And they should have no problem doing this either. I mean, unless Protein somehow scouts this out. Unless, I mean, there's a 2-minute delay, so there's that. But Protein's like thinking about going there, unless someone's in the lobby with us, which I don't think there is. So Protein's looking around right now. They haven't seen anything just yet. Maybe they're suspecting something's happening, but this Roche is very close to going down. Still going to take some more time right now. I'd imagine Universe might pick it up, or Aui. I'm not really sure just yet, but we'll have to see. They will take it down, though, regardless. It's just not going to be in time for Pycat to get there. He will go down. Who's going to pick it up? It looks like it will be Universe with that early game ganking potential. And, man, well, that's already 200 gold going the way of everybody, and that's pretty nice to have.
The battle begins.
Yeah, that's a really interesting strategy. I've had people level 1 Rosh against me before, and it is not fun seeing that Roshan's dropped.
That's just like an immediate just morale killer. You're just like, yeah, we're going to play a good game right now. And then it's just like, oh, they killed Roche. Well, that's not good.
Especially since how fast they killed it. They killed it extremely fast, having Enigma and Furion to make the trees and everything. So, especially with Luna too for the aura, and they were able to get to lanes. Like most strategies are fairly slow, and you can sort of guess that they're coming, or they'll miss some XP in lane. But they got back here for full XP in lane, and that's really scary.
Absolutely is. Once again, a dual lane mid coming out from the side of Statsme. They seem to like this strategy, and it's a little bit better of a dual lane, I think, here, rather than, well, I'm not 100% sure, because, of course, Juggernaut, of course, also is really good at level 6 with that Omni Slash as well. So it's interesting that he decided to have a laning partner here, but I think it's a bit better at least than having the Tidehunter. Meanwhile, Tides of Time is going to be here solo laning against both Protein as well as Uberbot. Interesting that they don't send Bounty Hunter in that solo off-lane position. It's actually going to be a solo off-lane Tidehunter. So interesting plays and places for all these heroes to go, but still, this could work out just fine for them. But of course, they will be down a little bit. You know, they will be down a little bit of gold early on in the game because of that Roshan. So
their Tidehunter's really not getting much XP top, and that could be not so great. I'm not sure that the dual lane mid is worthwhile. They're not stopping the Night Stalker from getting anything, whereas their Tidehunter's not getting anything top. And the Enigma's able to pull back the lane by making conversions, so.
And if he can get his Soul Ring up, which he's actually going to purchase up the recipe for right now, he'll be in a very good position. He's got 5 last hits right now. Once again, Dignitas leading the way in terms of last hits like they were last game, but still not as much. There wasn't as much, you know, first blood or kills early on as there was in the previous game. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see if this does change, if there's a little bit more aggression here. I mean, Mudbutt, I'm surprised they haven't really gone for him here. They can get a nice Lucent Beam off into maybe that Split Earth from Monolith. We'll have to wait and see. Fogged, of course, though, is in the jungle, so I understand because they would have to just bring him in with that Sprout. Maybe that's why they're waiting to be aggressive here, but regardless, last is going the way of Dignitas, and that's how it is right now. Juggernaut taking more Void damage. The Universe is doing a very good job harassing in this mid lane, even against that Venomancer. And he can play aggressively. He does have that Aegis, so even if he does go down, he'll just pop right back up. And he's level 4 already in comparison to the Juggernaut, who's 3, and Pycat, who is 2. So, doing a very nice job there.
What's really scary is that the Night Stalker has more last hits than the Juggernaut. So
that Aegis will pop off, however, which is nice that they got that taken care of. But Universe is back at full health. He's got a bottle. They used the Venomous Gale for that, and actually the Creep Wave is back at his tower now, so he can continue to get last hits. And like you said, he's leading the way in this mid lane, and against a dual lane, that is something that really shouldn't be happening.
yeah, if you look at the graphs already, because of the Furion farming, their Luna farming, their Enigma farming, and their Night Stalker farming, they're really already pulling ahead.
Yeah, it's 3,000 both gold and experience. If you check those graphs out real quick, and it's scary. I think if you're on the side of Statsme, Aoi 2000 with 20 last hits at 334. The Tidehunter just sitting solely at 1, and he's only level 2, unfortunately, so he's actually having a worse time than his dual lane mid is, getting experience, which is not surprising. I think he doesn't want to go down to a Split Earth or a Lucent Beam combo, and of course that TP from Fog could be very scary as well, and looks like Fog will go for an early hand of Midas, and he'll try to get that pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Tides is going to take some damage from that Illuminate, but he does have his Soul Ring available, which will allow him to spam those Eidolons off. Uberbot looking for the rune down in the bottom lane, not going to find it. Universe is going to pick it up and grab it, and it's a haste rune for him, and it's going to allow him some a little bit of speed here for ganking if he needs it, especially when that first Knight hits. And Fog's going to continue to farm. So right now, I mean, 26 last hits, and there's still. Oh, meanwhile, mid lane actually. A little bit of ganking potential coming from Universe right now, and the Void, and that's going to be the first blood there. So sorry, I talked over you for a second.
Oh, no problem. I think what's really that just really wasn't good mid. That they're letting Night Stalker get runes. When you run dual lane mids, one of the greatest advantages of that is, like, you can't really stop a mid player from getting XP and a few last hits, but the fact that he's getting so many last hits is troublesome. But even more importantly are the runes. They're not getting the runes. The Night Stalker got the rune, and that's why he killed Juggernaut, and that lets him sustain, like, in the lane and, like, get even more last hits. Like, if he didn't get that, like, it refilled his bottle and everything, so
yeah, that's
they really need the Vino to start going to get him.
I mean, Juggernaut's Sage again from that Void, which does so much damage, is maxed out right now because he didn't go for that Darkness just yet, and he'll be fine without it regardless. And I mean, it allows that aggression. He pretty much got the kill on Legit because of that max out of Void there, so that's also a good play by Universe. And yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Pycat he doesn't need to be in lane a lot of the time, especially if he's not going to harass Universe back from getting last hits. He should be getting the rune control with Uberbot looking at the bottom rune at least, in my opinion. So regardless though, I mean, they're not too far behind. I mean, they're down 1-0, but I think of course the graph does tell that they are down behind 5,000 in terms of experience and 4,000 in gold, which is still quite a bit, but I mean, it's not over yet, obviously.
Yep. Fog already has his Midas, and so that's really not good for Statsme. He's just going to be a farming machine until eventually him and Enigma probably start pushing bottom. We might actually see, once Enigma gets some of his health back, they might see Furion TPing bottom, and a Furion and Enigma gank with the whole. They could really double kill them with the Furion ult and everything. That's a lot of damage there. And Coddle doesn't have too much health, and Bounty Hunter's pretty squishy too, and they're only level between them.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Universe was going to get that kill, but of course Fog took it right from him with that Nature's Wrath. Still, though, they get the kill on Pycat regardless. Meanwhile, Big Dive coming in. Actually, they took the tower in the top lane. Not even a dive at all, and Mudbutt has just got to back, and Split Earth might be coming from Monolith. Will hit? No, just barely missing right on the edge. They're not going to fly. And Aoi 2000 and Monolith realizing they're not in the best position. Aoi's going to turn around, and maybe they're going to go for a kill here on Uberbot. He does have DD. There's going to be Edict as well. Lucent Beam is going to fly, and Uberbot is in some trouble. He's going to go down for sure, but, oh, is he for sure? Yes, he will. And here comes Mudbutt as well. He's going to gush. Aoi 2000 now in a bit of trouble. He's going to use his Eclipse, however. There's one kill. Mudbutt taking some damage. Aoi 2000, he's going to get that Venomous Gale on him, and now he's in some trouble. He does not really have any regen, but he's not taking too much damage. The Venomous Gale is not doing a whole lot. Oh, the ward, though. Nice block from Aoi, or excuse me, Aoi can't get out. He will go down. No, he's going to get denied from Monolith. Nice play there. Meanwhile, Fog going to sprout up Pycat. Monolith is going to go down. Fog is all alone, however. Pycat taking some damage. The Treant's going. Fog tanking the tower, however. Here comes Universe with the Void. Going to get a kill. Fog now in not the best position, but no rotations from the rest of his team. Mudbutt trying to get out. Universe diving this very hastily, but the Void as well. Not enough damage. One more right click. No, two more. He will go down, but Universe still taking tower damage, and he'll be able to get out just fine. He's so fast. He's so very quick. He's very low in health right now. He's going to use his Phase Boots once again. Oh, the Catapult. He's at 39 HP. He's going to pop his bottle charge. He'll be okay, but he needs to get out now. He's getting chased by the side of... Oh, no, legit. But he's not nearly fast enough. They can't catch him, so... Big plays from Dignitas, and that's just game knowledge. And meanwhile, Fog's actually going to go down from Protein. Nice chase there to get that kill, but he didn't use that track, unfortunately. I think that might have got him to level 6, however, so...
What was really awesome in the fights there that Dignitas did is they did a ton of body blocking. Monolith actually saved Luna's life for a long time, body blocking the Vino from being able to get the last hit on him, and it was pretty awesome. And Furion even body blocked the Tidehunter for a long time, and there were some pretty good fights.
Yeah, Universe going to get a double kill there. Absolutely, and good point. I mean, Monolith is just playing outstandingly, I've got to say. With the body blocks, with the deny of Aoi 2000. I mean, MVP Monolith right now so far. I mean, it's still very early. Meanwhile, Tide's time, he's going to go down bottom. It looks like he might have a black hole. He does. He's going to use it, but there's no... Oh, here's the Fury on the backside. Good turnaround. Protein might go down. No, he's still very low. There is, of course, the Sentry, but not enough damage on Protein just yet. Tides might go for the kill. And Furion's going to get it. Tide's now in some trouble. Mudbutt. Oh, the Malphite's in time. Tide's of time. Barely going to get out with like 40 HP. Somehow he survives. Great hole. Great turnaround there.
Yeah. And there was that combo that I thought was going to happen a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Enigma running up and holding, and Furion coming out of nowhere and ulting. And it looks like Luna's getting a Shadow Blade.
Mid-lane, Pycat's going to go down once again. Boy, double kill from Universe right now, and they are just... It's the same exact game from the last game, it looks like. And I mean, it's 14-3 right now. Statsme, I think, is... you got to hand it to them. They've played, resiliently, but I think they're just getting outclassed right now. And I mean, Dignitas is a pro team. They've played against... I mean, they were in the TPL playoffs, and they played against Virtus Pro, and I mean, they had a rough time, obviously, but they, don't take them lightly. Dignitas has won against many good teams. They beat Team Liquid, of course, in Killing Spree North America, and I mean, it's tough, especially if you're an amateur team to go against a team like this, so...
Yeah, I think Dignitas is actually one of the best teams in North America right now. They've just always played really solid, and they've been with each other for a long time, playing under Pod and Bottom before taking the Dignitas name, so...
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. They're going to go for Roche again, but yeah, I mean, Dignitas and the old days of Pod and Bottom, they've just been, even with the Universe, they've been playing together for a long period of time, and they're looking really good. I absolutely agree with you. They're one of the best teams in North America, and many people, well, a lot of people predicting EG for the Killing Spree, first King of the Hill, but maybe Dignitas. I think they're very good. Meanwhile, on the backside, Aoi 2000 is going to dive very far into the opposing wood's going to get a kill. Meanwhile, Night Stalker mid going to get a kill on the Bounty Hunter, looking for a Sprout on Uberbot. Will find it. Universe going to use his Void, just does so much damage, and Uberbot is very squishy. No brace or anything like that. He's going to go down. That's 3 dead on the side of Statsme, and it's just too much, I think, for the side of Dignitas. They're just overwhelming their opponents, and the dual lane mid, it's a good strategy, but it's just not working well. Meanwhile, Aoi 2000 taking some damage. He's got his Shadow Blade if necessary, but he's going to try to turn this around, trying to go on legit. He's taking some damage. Meanwhile, Mudbutt's here as well. And there's going to be the Eclipse. Oh, just absolutely decimating the side of legit. Here comes the TP rotation from Protein. There's going to be a void going on Mudbutt as well. Might go down, no. They're going to stop diving, realizing they might be in a little bit of trouble. More TPs coming in. Uberbot here as well. And Universe is going to try to get out, and Aoi should be good with that Shadow Blade as well. And he's actually going to look to maybe keep on going. Protein, do they have any vision is the question. It doesn't look like it, so they can't kill Protein, I don't think, but there's going to be a rotation from Monolith. Can land a Split Earth perhaps, and maybe they can try to get a kill, but Universe is actually going to TP out right now. So meanwhile, mid is actually getting pressured with that combo like you were talking about, Tides of Time, of course, as well as Fog and a Dagon for Universe right now. So
that poor Juggernaut, when he was trying to kill the Luna, he was about 80 mana off of Omni Slash because he had just got done killing a creep to get it, and Luna was down to about 400 health. So that could have turned around, but just having mana issues despite going all stats besides his Blade Fury.
He's having some trouble right now, and just right now as well. I mean, he's just having a tough game in general. So he's gonna run right back out though. However, and they're trying to push in that tier 3 mid. Meanwhile, Protein is actually stalking the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker is being stalked, surprisingly enough. But Universe now actually caught in between a few heroes here, but it doesn't look like he's afraid. He's actually going to right after Pycat. And that Dagon doing so much damage, and the Void getting an immediate double kill. Oh, Universe.
Their Coddle doesn't really... He doesn't have his Illuminate maxed. He has more in Chocolate than he even has Illuminate, which, you know, for turtling and stuff could be troublesome. So...
Oh, Universe, this is a heavy dive. CP might be coming in. Oh, Universe getting one kill. Sprout flying as well. Big black hole from Tides of Time. Getting two. Mudbutt is the next target right now. Not taking too much damage. The Silence going to fly Void as well. Will it be enough? No, it doesn't look like it. He's going to regen right up. But already at 12 minutes into the game, the 12 dives are on. And now they're going to continue to try to push the tier 3s as well. There's only one tier 2 left up in the top lane. And this looks like it's going to be all she wrote. It's a rather quick series.
Yeah, they're really... Dignitas is wasting no time this game. Like being their streams.
CSGO, okay. I like it. Go to that guy's stream. Maybe he is good at CSGO.
Played a bit of CSGO in the beta. It's a pretty fun game.
It is
not as good as Dota though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was a veteran of 1.5 and 1.6 and Source, and I enjoyed my CS. But Dota 2 has made me appreciate just how good this game is. So I gotta say,
yeah. The game is awesome. How in depth it is, and just how many different ways there are to come out ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Just it's. So, I mean, just different strategies. I mean, every game is essentially... no one game is the same, which it just absolutely blows my mind. The amount of, like you said, the depth that it has, just the complexity, the strategy that it requires, the amount of dedication, I mean, the skill that it really requires. I mean, even once you get good, there's always room for improvement, always. And just...
Yep.
I don't know, it's just absolutely fantastic. This game is,
yeah.
But, and we get to see things like love dives.
I remember reading somewhere about the total like possible hero combinations for teams is somewhere in like the millions or something. It's just that alone is incredible.
I read that article.
Juggernaut's gonna go out fighting, I guess.
He's all alone, but it looks legit. He wants to go.
Their Tide never actually hit 6 this game. That's a little bit depressing.
Yeah, this game in general I think was a little bit depressing for the side of Statsme. I mean, you gotta give them credit. They tried their best, and that's all that really matters when you're playing a game of Dota. Is try. If it doesn't work out, then at least you learn something from it, hopefully.
Yeah,
the BM
you don't really learn anything from games you will win, so it's always about the ones you lose.
Absolutely. There's some wise words that I think that I could, like there's some proverb that I could say about, you know, losing blah blah blah, or something, but I can't think of anything right now. Regardless, before we head out of here, Anacletus, do you have any shoutouts, any plugs that you'd like to make before we leave?
Yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter at SneaksDota. Shout out to my friend Ryan on the clouds and Annihilate Danny and some other people, but
Good games so far. Thank you for joining me, sir. It was a lot of fun, actually.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do something like this again, and we'll continue to follow the GameCom Plantronics tournament. Once again, I'm Maut. If you'd like to follow me specifically, you can do it at twitter.com/MautDota2. Follow us over at neodota.com. I really appreciate you guys doing that because, of course, Killing Spree North America is a lot of fun. We have some other stuff that we're really excited to be doing as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast, and I'll see y'all later. In fact, actually, before we leave, I perhaps might stream later on at twitch.tv/Maut.